Hello everyone and welcome back. We are back with episode number 23 of A Candle or the Night, Star Wars Actual Play podcast. We hope you had a great holiday season. Happy New Year. As we get on into this episode, I wanted to make a few short announcements. First of all, like always, if you're enjoying the show, it really helps us and we would appreciate it if you would leave a 5-star review on your podcast source of choice. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel, give us a like and subscribe. I'm also going to announce if we have any fans who are interested in doing some pre-recorded voice work for NPCs in the episode. I know I've gotten 1 or 2 questions about that in the past. We're definitely open to it. I always have characters and NPCs that need some interesting voice work, and we can always have you guys join in and pre-record that for use during the episodes. If you're interested, just shoot me an email at feedback@candleorthenight.com. That is feedback@candleorthenight.com. Again, you can find artwork and campaign information on our website, www.candleorthenight.com. That pretty much wraps us up for announcements, so let's jump on into the episode. So why don't we jump in with our recap. I don't know why it took me like 40 seconds to think of the word recap.
Wait,
You were trying to recall the word.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Okay, last time, session 22, last time. Tyrus returns from his mysterious absence with astounding new abilities. The chaos aboard the Rebel medical frigate intensifies as Imperial boarding parties carve through the hull and storm all decks. Kip works intensely to repair the damaged hyperdrive as blaster fire and lightsabers swirl around him. L3T0 takes severe damage from a stormtrooper blaster, literally his first round of combat in this game, and almost goes down, but he manages to mortally wound his attacker and begin repair protocols. Very cute flavor, by the way. Very cool flavor, by the way, L3. Kip succeeds.
Channel your inner Wookiee.
Kip succeeded in getting the Paralight system back online and then moved to the hyperdrive motivator. His teammates were fighting desperately to forestall the invaders to give him an opening to work. Meanwhile, the crew of the Errant Seeker valiantly strived against desperate odds to take down the escorted bombers before they could reach the Mon Calamari cruiser. Despite expert piloting and crack gunnery, the dense TIE escort made things extremely challenging. They were able to peel away the escort from one of the bombers, and Victor's slicing disabled its engines. The other 2 bombers raced in a beeline for their target. Unfortunately, the TIE Ace, allowed to run amok since the Errant Seeker's crew was focused on the bombers, annihilated 2 wings of the X-Wing squadron. Despite trying all they could, Jensa began to feel like the odds were stacked against them. The Force was with them, however, as their heroic intervention seemed to stall the advance of the intrepid Will towards its target. Suddenly, a bizarre and formidable opponent presented himself. Bior recognized this fearsome Dark Trooper as an instrument of intimidation and devastation for the Empire. Tyrus stuns his teammates as he seems to be able to send his lightsaber flying to nearby opponents and duel them with grace from a remote distance. His new cerebral implant glittering with lights as Tal Shandir dances through combat. The party noticed the Dark Trooper's dense armor seemed to prove challenging even to pierce with a lightsaber. Hope swelled momentarily, however, as the last of the Stormtrooper squad fell and the officer was injured and fled in panic. This hope is challenged, however, as overhead alarms started blaring. Commander Straith and the bridge crew had apparently been neutralized by boarding teams. With the bridge under siege, a terrible awareness sets in that the challenges before the party threaten to spread their talents thin, and they must decide what to prioritize as the intrepid will draws closer. And we are now actually at the top of our initiative rotation, meaning we are going to jump back to the crew of the Errant Seeker in space combat, attempting to take down the bombers, and begin... Where were we? Ah, yes, space battle.
Dying.
We're not technically dying until they start actually hitting us, but you're right. You're right. We're in.
You're just watching everyone else die.
Yeah, everybody else is dying around us.
Which is not so bad when you really think about it.
Actually, it is, because you get to see how we go. Oh, yeah, you can explode into space and freeze to death. That's awesome.
Okay, so TIE Bomber goes first. Because it is actually reasonably still behind you, remember I had the map split, so it is going to... It is actually going to attack that remaining wing of X-Wings that is with you. Is he at any disadvantage, any setback dice from last time? I do not remember.
I do not recall, but
I don't remember anything.
but can I ask?
Oh, wait. Correction. He had a component hit. His weapons are offline, and so he cannot attack. You guys critical...
That's right.
You critical hit him. So he is just gonna have to double move, actually. That
Didn't,
opens...
like, Victor...
Go ahead, Jensa.
I was gonna say, didn't Victor do something to somebody's guidance or something? I don't remember.
Yeah, he stripped off the last of the TIE fighters that were escorting that third bomber, which incidentally is on death's doorstep. But somehow you just barely never dealt the killing blow on him. So he has no further escort. And that brings us to your turn, Jensa. So you still have a wing of X-Fighters escorting the Errant Seeker, and you are in pursuit of two bombers. One of the bombers has a full escort. The other one is down to only
Could you
2
bring
out
up
of 3.
the flight combat options?
Oh, I'll put those up. Give me 1 second.
Of course.
You also want to decide what your bonus is for your squadron leader.
Let's take the defense to all facings this round.
Okay, so you now have additional +1 defense to all facings. Your ship already has fore and aft 1. So basically fore and aft is 2 and port and starboard is 1.
I think I'm gonna flip around and try to pop off this one that has the 2 hit points left. And Ishwar, is the cannon still down? Can I tell?
It will be up.
I'm learning a lot of Wookiee curse words.
I think the cannon was down for 1 round, so you have all weapons on the ship operational again.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
on my turn it will be, yeah.
I will use the front guns to shoot, and I still have a maneuver.
So you're attacking the one that's below you, the TIE Bomber 1.
Yeah, it's the one that only has 2 hit points and no escort. I mean, it's in range, and why not? So I'm going to fire as my action, and then for my maneuver, I'm going to stay on target with the other bombers.
Well, slight correction, your maneuver will be to move from short to close range to TIE Bomber 1, and then your action is to fire.
Okay. I thought he was still in range.
He's at short range from you, so you have to be in close range to fire.
Laser cannons, man.
Alright, so roll it. Normal difficulty, 2 purple dice. Okay, so although...
And somehow I fail.
Okay, although the shot misses,
Fail.
you get 3 advantage, and I'm going to put up how you can spend those so you can decide. You actually, since you're the pilot, I should remind you, you can actually perform a free pilot-only maneuver, if you would like, due to those advantage.
You can also disable one of its... Oh, it's got to be dealing damage.
I didn't do the damage though.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So
I'm
here's...
gonna give boost dice to Ishwar for his shot.
Okay, how many is that? Like 2, 1, 2?
Per 1, you get next allied active character's gunnery per...
Okay,
It's
so...
weird because it costs 2 as well. That's confusing. The chart.
That's a little weird. But go ahead and add 2 boost dice to the next check.
So, Kirk, I know last game we kind of let you go second, but would you mind if I go second? Because otherwise everybody's kind of out of range by the time my move goes.
Yeah, that's totally fine. Go ahead.
Okay.
It is actually the minion TIE fighters turn. Let me just see. They are all still alive and well, and they are going to take an attack against your escort. Okay, so they actually miss. However, they are going to give that the effect of that. So they're going to, as they fire it at your ship, and you have to juke out of the way, Jensa, to avoid the hit, which you do, and they go wide across your bow. It exposes you to the TIE Ace, and he'll be using. He'll be able to upgrade his next gunnery or piloting check against you. And that's all they're going to do. And now, party player slot.
Okay, so can you tell me who's all in range and how damaged they are?
We didn't move the token, but you are down here. You're in close range to that bomber.
And how wounded is he?
Well, by your estimation, he's severely wounded.
Right, okay. Yeah, he's throwing sparks, right? Like
Totally.
This is the one that we've been shooting.
It's like spit and bubblegums holding that thing together.
Okay, I will take 1 strain to give myself an extra maneuver and double. And I will use her 2 boost dice, and I will try to shoot them.
You're using the maneuvers for what? Aim? Is that what you said?
To aim, yes.
Oh, good, yeah. I feel like we don't use those very often, aiming. So you actually get a total of 3 boost dice, right?
4, right? You gave me 2 from that, right? And then 2
Oh, and then 2 aim, so 4. Yeah, okay.
Yes, yeah, 4. And then my gunnery and 2 purple. Too bad.
Okay, narrate that for us, please.
That
a
is
stunning
6
successes.
and
Yeah.
an advantage.
That translates into boom.
And I will just pass that boost dice on back to Jen.
Pass that down the line. Yeah, you obliterate this guy. You come barreling down. You're firing the turret, so you roll that turret around. 12 o'clock, light him up. Ship blows up. Huge explosion due to the ordnance on board. And fragments kind of blow around you, and you go streaking through the explosion trail.
Yeah, there's some Wookiee happy sounding, not so much curse words. But now they're happy Wookiee curse
When you
words.
edit it, lots of happy Wookiee noises.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Here we go. There you go.
That's what I like to hear.
Sounds
All
like
right.
he was eating chili.
Stormtrooper chili out of a stormtrooper helmet.
I wouldn't want to be in that cockpit.
Okay, so the TIE Ace now locks his sights on the Errant Seeker. Seeing the first bomber go down, you can sense urgency in his behavior as he locks himself behind you. I am going to...
We get a defense from our a defense bonus, correct?
You do. You have an active defense bonus now. Okay,
Let me know if he
actually...
hits.
He is going to use his Dead to Rights talent, emboldened by your recent strike. He's going to make an attack against you with the twin laser cannons. Now, you get to choose which facing he hits on because you're the pilot and you control the facing of your ship as you're being shot at.
Can I do barrel roll?
Before that takes place, you just have to pick which facing. I assume you're going to pick the rear facing because it has two.
Yeah, the rear face. Whatever has the most shield.
All right, and now you were referring to snap roll, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so if he hits you, then we can resolve that.
Okay.
And he gets to upgrade this check once. Okay, so he rolled 4 successes and 2 threat. First, Jensa, as the pilot, as you feel the hull about to get hit, perhaps with your sense of what's about to happen with the Force, you get a glimpse of this immediate damage you're about to take. If you choose to use the snap roll incidental, you can, let's see, you have to suffer 3 strain yourself and then 3 ship strain, system strain.
Can I use some Destiny in this?
For this, no.
Okay, so it's what's the difficulty on?
So it's
You
not a
don't
roll.
roll
You just,
anything.
if it's okay with you, you're just going to take strain. Jensa's taking strain, and the ship is taking strain as you struggle to maneuver yourself. You're basically pushing the systems to their maximum to try and dodge this attack.
Okay.
Alright.
Can we spend the 2 threat to make his next action have a setback dice?
Yes, you can.
That'd be
Oh, you put the strain in for me already?
Put the strain in on the ship here, and then for you...
Would that be agreeable to everybody else on the ship?
I can't remember why I would have strain already.
You did that once before. We did a snap roll.
You didn't-
Okay.
You used another... you spent strain to do something
you're
less
probably
than... Okay, so you get to reduce the
Remember, you-
damage by the sum of the ship's handling plus your ranks in piloting. Your ship's handling is 0, but your ranks in piloting are... Help me out with that.
4.
Piloting. Nice. Okay, so the damage taken by the ship is 6. However, your armor removes 3 of it. So the Errant Seeker, the hull does get hit in glancing blows along the back sort of rear wing area, and it only takes 3 hull trauma. But Jensa, you totally grit your teeth.
Give myself a head.
Watch the paint, bub.
Second bomber hauls ass forward with 2 maneuvers, and we are back to a
Strain of
party.
the mental anxiety. This is a new ship.
We are at you, Ishwar. No, I'm sorry. We are at Victor, who has not gone yet.
So, we're getting this ace is just barreling in on us. So
Yes.
I am going to attempt to slice his systems to reduce his abilities and hopefully get his weapons offline. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh, and I spent a destiny point doing what I did, so you have another one. You have like 5,000.
I would say we need to save the destiny points for doing damage because what I do isn't really that significant. I'm just kind of buffing a little bit, so get 2 boost dice from my codebreaker. Difficulty goes down from 3 to 2. 3 successes.
All right. Okay, so you have negated his defensive bonus, and I'll let you use the extra success as an advantage if you'd like to deal system strain to his ship.
I would do that.
All right, and now, as the space combat rolls forward, we actually are going to jump back to the engineering deck. We are now, you guys are all standing on the engineering deck. Kip is attempting to repair the hyperdrive motivator.
Yes.
The Imperial Army officer has run for the hills for the moment, and the Dark Trooper is moving into Tyrus and the Rebel Marines. At that moment, you see a new type of individual appear on the scene. These are humans in Imperial sort of jumpsuits.
Hang on, how come Kip isn't with the equipment anymore? He was with the equipment when we ended, wasn't he?
No, if you look up, I'm on the same side as you by those 3 things.
So you're not fixing something else. Okay.
I'm fixing something else, yeah.
God, you're resourceful.
Kip is always fixing something else. Okay, so this Imperial technician enters the scene. He moves, takes a maneuver, suddenly runs in front of you, Tyrus, and you see her stop around the other set of coils from the hyperdrive and spends an action actually rigging a device So she rigs a small, what looks like explosive device to the other set of hyperdrive coils over there. And that concludes the technician's turn, and it begins with the party. Who's going first?
I'll go first. So I'm in front of this hyperdrive and I need to fix it, yes? I don't even see the other person from where I am.
From where you are, you probably have not noticed that. No.
And plus, that's not what he does. He focuses on what matters most. Mechanics. So he's going to attempt to fix this. He's talking to Remus, slightly arguing with Remus because Remus always wants to do something different. But anyway, so he's going to, I guess it's the mechanics check again, yeah?
It is going to be a mechanics check. 2 purple, 1 red, and 1 setback dice, plus whatever applicable bonuses you have.
Yeah, so the setback dice, that's good, because I think I have something that removes setback dice. Let me hang on again. Yes, I have Gearhead. I have 1 rank of it. Remove 1 setback dice per rank of Gearhead from mechanics checks.
Nice.
I also have the credit cost. So, okay, so I don't use that credit, or that I don't have to use that, whatever it's called. Hang on a second. Okay, so
Setback dice?
mechanics. Okay, then 2 purple, 1 red.
2 purple, 1 red.
I'm going to use. Oh wait, I get a boost from Remus,
Yes, you do.
and I'm going to use one of the destiny points. I don't remember what I do with that though.
The easiest way for you to use them, you can use them in a number of ways, but the most direct and the way that takes the least thinking is to use it to upgrade your dice pool once, which means you can click the green plus. That turns one of your green dice into a yellow dice.
Okay. That's what I'll do. And he will also take 2 more strain and reduce the difficulty by 1. So what do I do there?
I can add the strain for you. I will point out, just so you know, if you do that, you'll be at 9 out of 13.
I know, right? But he's Kip.
Okay, so Kip is looking a little bit harried.
Right, he's getting a little frantic. He's starting to sweat. But what do I do? So I take away the one of the purple dice.
All you have to do for that is click the red minus.
And I roll.
Wow, very good. Okay, so by the way, just so you know, Kip, you removing the red and purple dice removes your chance of getting threats and despairs, which would otherwise be causing catastrophic, malfunctions in the systems here. So you're actually circumventing a lot of very deadly things that could be going on right now, which is great.
I'm going to spend those 2 advantages to reduce my strain. So I don't remember if it's a 2-to-1 or if it's a 1-to-1. I think
It's a 1-to-1.
Recover 1 strain
it's a
for
1-to-1,
1.
then.
Yeah. So you're going to
Perfect.
knock that
Yep.
back down to 7, right?
Yeah, whatever it was before. So just remove 2.
So now it's 7.
Yeah.
Okay, and you've gotten 3 additional successes. That puts you at 8, by the way. 8 out of 15. You're halfway there. You can tell, actually, the hyperdrive motivator, the systems are starting to look like they are coming together.
Excellent.
Motivator.
Does Kip get excited about these things or not really?
Oh yeah, no, Chip's like, yeah, brah! But no one's noticing that.
Because they're
Working on a motivator, so
L3 is
bad
devastating.
motivator. He's got a bad motivator.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
no, you see, even though Skip is like sweating, he's like, it's kind of weird. He's super focused. Like it's clearly he's not looking at anything. I mean, he's vaguely aware there's a battle going on, but he assumes other people are taking care of that because they have jobs to do and he has a job to do. But he's like into it. He's smiling, and he almost never smiles in front of meatbags.
I love that. He assumes that other people are taking care of it. I love it. Do your job, guys. Okay, so the Dark Trooper, he's surveying the scene, probably looking for the most immediate threat. And he turns, and the only people that he's familiar with in terms of a military threat to him are the rebels there, which he will open fire upon with his chain gun. So he pulls out that heavy, sort of takes both hands to wield, like blaster chain gun, points it at the rebels, and okay. So he opens fire on those rebels, dealing 12 damage, which basically, seeing where they're at. Okay, so 2 of the 3 of them are dead, and the 3rd is injured. And he rolled a triumph, which he is actually going to make an immediate free maneuver and move to the doorway for partial cover. And that brings us to next party position. Who would like to act?
How do we spread the threat? Or what can we do to spend
the threat?
that one threat?
I'll let you guys decide that.
I don't remember what we can do with the threats.
You can force him to suffer strain, or you could...
How about loses benefit of prior maneuver?
Damn it. Okay.
That sounds
Back in your cage, tin boy.
He is... okay, all right. So he lost that. Well played, Tyrus. Well played. And which one of our heroes is going to seize the initiative? Oh, and by the way, you noticed another group of stormtroopers running behind the crate in the back. Nobody commented on that in the map.
Oh, I saw them.
You felt their presence tingling deep in your forehead.
So I'm going to start by taking a guarded stance as my maneuver,
Okay.
which adds a black dice to combat checks until the end of next turn with 1+1 melee defense.
Oh, and not to break your train of thought, Tyrus, but you being the closest person to the event, you directly saw this technician just set some form of explosive in front of you. And
I know she's next on my list.
you can tell that she is trying to she's trying to tune some sort of handheld detonator, and she's like in process of doing that. So she hasn't completed what she's trying to do yet.
So I'm actually going to invoke Eladir's Dueling Wit and spend a light side point. And we're going to target the dark bot.
Okay, all right. Okay, so you will be making first a force power check. So roll your 2 force dice. Very nice. You got a dark side and 2 light side points, more than enough to activate your ability and have your lightsaber return to your hand if you like. And now make your lightsaber combat check. It'll be 2 purple dice. Wait, before you do that, actually,
Oops.
because you upgraded. Remember, you spent a destiny point. So
Yes.
I'm going to give you a choice. You can either unspend the destiny point, or you can just re-roll the whole thing with the proper upgrade.
Re-roll, please.
Okay, so what you're going to do is after you populate the dice box, hit the green plus once. It's going to turn that green one into a yellow one. Oh yeah, we'll take that. We'll take that. Okay, so you rolled 5 successes and 4 threats. Those 4 threats are interesting. We'll get back to that in a second. But
My forehead's gonna hurt soon, isn't it?
5 successes. You actually make a hit for 9 damage. You ignore 3 of his soak due to the sunder quality of your lightsaber. So he is actually going to take 5 wounds. And this is the first time.
We're gonna spend 3 successes to disable the target.
I think you need 3 advantages, right?
Yeah.
Oops,
Those
sorry.
are
Wrong
4
button.
threats.
That would be awesome.
Damn it.
But okay, so you move your hand forward as you see your lightsaber Talshindir fly as the lights glitter on your little implant on your forehead, and it slices forward up across the chest of the Dark Trooper. And for the first time, you see it slice right through his armor. And when it does, you see a shower of sparks come out. So this is a droid, and you can see that this is not a living being. As your lightsaber, which is still floating in the air next to him, you need to decide whether it returns to your hand or if you want to keep it engaged with him.
Because of the threat, I'm gonna have it returned to me.
Now, let's get to the threat.
So let me get this straight. His giant forehead now has flashing lights on it.
He
It's
has a
bedazzled.
small, above
I'm a
his,
walking disco ball.
above one of his eyebrows, above his right eyebrow, he has a small plate that's about 1 inch by 3 inches. Very sleek looking, but there are small lights on it, actually. And
So he's like Geordi without the visor on?
much
I'm a
smaller,
remote
much smaller
control,
than
basically.
Geordi. But, you know.
Well, I mean, when the visor was off, he just basically had like a couple of Christmas
Yes,
lights.
yeah, like a cybernetic
head.
plate that is on
Yeah.
his forehead.
He just recently walked into a ceiling fan.
But-
Pay no attention.
It's inevitable, isn't
But
it?
if it wasn't a target already, now it has like flashing lights.
Tyrus,
If you can't hide it, decorate it.
I like this guy's style.
perhaps due to the surprise of
He's gonna be so much fun.
sending your weapon out and seeing it reveal that this character is sort of an inorganic droid, as you move to draw it back to your hand, you slip on some fluid on the floor and you fall prone, actually. So even though your attack looked utterly awesome, you had kind of a Three Stooges follow-up and slipped and fell on the floor. So you are prone at the moment. This
Mental grace 1. Physical
yeah.
grace 0.
I'm really not weighted for combat. I'm top heavy. You can't argue with gravity, even if
Get
it's
your-
artificial.
L3, L3.
Draw.
Yes.
or whoever wants to go. It could be L3 or Bior.
I'll go last.
Somebody needs to come
Alright.
deal with this technician lady, too.
They are awfully close together, aren't they? Poke, poke, grenade.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
May I fairly point out, even though I should probably keep my mouth shut, if you detonate the explosive in front of the technician,
Oh, that's true.
badness will ensue.
That's what I was also thinking.
However, you still can throw the grenade such that it doesn't, because you could merely throw it off to the right of the map slightly, because you just need to hit them. I think it's within short range. So, as long as you don't roll a bunch of threat or something and miss, then everything's good.
I hope blast goes off. Quality.
Great. With my usual luck, I usually roll.
You've got a big juicy pool of destiny points.
That's all I'm
okay.
saying.
And nothing tears up a minion group like the blast quality on a grenade.
How close would I have to go? I have to use a maneuver to get close. So
You're gonna have to use a maneuver unless you want a high difficulty on the throw, which you probably don't. So you want to spend a maneuver to move from long to medium range. That would put you somewhere in the vicinity of parallel with the rebels, the rebel marines.
Got it. All right. Well, L3 would probably turn to Bior, and smoke is coming out of his chassis. I'm sure he's sparking in a few places at this point. And he would just say in a very metallic voice, "Green one leaking acidic vapor. Please kill designation officer while I go deal with other enemies." And he will proceed down, probably to here, right?
That's fine.
Okay, and then he will hurl the grenade as such to hopefully hit the stormtroopers and the back of the dark trooper. I don't know the radius I'm dealing with.
I can definitely.
Somewhere around there, essentially.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Okay, so you're throwing a medium range ranged light check. So grenades, the frag grenade is range light, isn't it?
It is RL, so yeah, range light.
Okay, so you're making a ranged light combat check, and you'll be adding 2 purple dice.
I did want to use a force point or destiny point.
Yeah, I would highly recommend it, actually.
Yes, I will use one of those.
You need all the
so just 2
advantages you can get.
Is there
Did
any
anybody
more,
give you a
advantage
boost
die?
dice for anything? Did anybody spend one for you?
I
don't
thought
know.
the spaceship crew claimed all the.
What did Tyrus do with your that advantage?
No, we still had 3 from the very first initial combat.
didn't
that
use
nobody
those.
said.
That's
Okay.
right. Yes.
Now would be the time, big guy.
Yes.
All right, how many should I use?
Go for it. Use all 3.
All of them.
This is man,
Okay.
go home.
All right, using all of them.
Is this when we can
Close
disable
throw.
the tin guy?
It's the hope. Well, disable all 3 of them if it works.
Okay,
Yay!
Okay. so
My apologies, still new with the system.
we didn't get any advantages to activate the blast qualities. So what that means is the grenade goes off and hits the primary target.
But it crits.
It does not crit. It requires 4 crit. It requires
Right.
4 advantage to crit.
Oh, for advantage. Sorry, not for success. Yeah, right.
Correct. So you actually scored 12 damage. Is that going to be? It only is only going to hit 1 target because the blast quality didn't activate. So do you want that to hit the dark trooper or the stormtrooper squad?
Oh,
Decisions.
I would strongly suggest the Dark Trooper because he's very close to me.
Don't let Tyrus sway you.
No, you're an analyst droid. What would you?
My space billboard of a forehead is a marked target.
True. You are a Republic. I'm sorry, a rebel analyst. What would you do?
yeah, I'd take down the major threat. So yeah, we'll direct that at the droid.
And you strain so hard throwing this that you're actually going to take 1 strain for that threat. So we're going to add 1 strain to your character. You kind of You kind of
Does my arm fall
you
off
throw
at this
out
point?
you blow your labrum when you're throwing that thing. Oh wait, you're a droid. Okay.
One of my actuators fails.
So 2 of the 3 stormtroopers are detonated in the explosion, basically blown to pieces as you see fragments of plasteel armor go flying all over the place. And the other guy behind him is just covered in soot, and you can see him kind of duck down behind the crate, and he's stunned. You could tell you rung his bell with that.
Wait, I thought he.
I thought I said Dark Trooper.
Oh, okay, Dark Trooper
the
it is.
big guy, not the right. Yeah.
Okay, so the Dark Trooper has 8 soak, leaving 4 damage to him. So, this very significant explosion actually fractures some of his shoulder armor, and you can see some of the interior circuitry at this point.
Basically, L3 sees much needed spare parts at this point.
Okay, so he is moderately damaged. And the Imperial Army officer runs as fast as he can using 2 maneuvers to get into this area over here. And there is not much else he can do at the moment. That brings us to the last party slot being Bior Shin.
Damn, that guy ran away from me. Shit.
Can you throw something at the Dark Trooper?
If you expect
force
valor
throw him in
from
the
an
pit?
Imperial officer, you're in trouble.
There's no way that I can make it to the Dark Trooper and attack, is there?
Don't
Well, how
I
about
wish that you
box
had
that's
force
behind
leap
him?
at
Can
this
you throw
point?
that at him?
Hold on.
I wish
One
that
of
you
the-
had force leap right now.
You
But-
can always do 2 maneuvers. The second one you just take strain to do it.
Correct.
But I would reach him and be able to attack?
Yes, because you do the. Yes, you take strain to sort of push yourself.
Oh
to
yeah,
run
dude.
faster.
I'll take 2 strain. I'll take 2 strain all day to get to this guy.
Okay, Bayer, you bust your butt to get down there, running as fast as you can. Okay, so Bayer, you are now in engaged range with this fearsome 7-foot-tall Dark Trooper, carrying a ridiculously large chain gun.
I charge up my lightsaber as much as I can and I hack at him.
You fire up Sirocco, this cross-guarded scimitar-shaped lightsaber, and go ahead and make your check.
Can we
Or
boost him with
destiny
cool
points.
or with calm or discipline or anything?
You have no more boost dice to give him at the moment, and you have not been forced to make a fear check, so there's no discipline roll required.
You can
Oh,
always
on the destiny point.
got this shit right on it.
Hey man, can I just upgrade this too? With it, all I gotta do is hit the green plus symbol.
Once you populate the dice pool, you hit the green plus symbol once. That upgrades your ability check. Ooh.
Yes.
Oh shit!
Sir.
Okay, so 1 success, 1 advantage, 1 triumph. Okay, Bayer, you do 6 damage.
You can force the target to drop their weapon. You can do something vital, such as shooting the controls. You can do.
You can
a number.
crit him.
Was my hit impressive enough to possibly cause the technician to become full of fear or something and run away?
Do you have sunder on your lightsaber? Can you sunder his weapon?
You can, well, you have, okay, so here's the things you can do so you can decide. You can either A, inflict a critical injury, B, activate a weapon quality including sunder or burn, or C, do anything else you could do on the list of things with advantage and triumph, including adding boost dice, making him fall prone, things like that. So, or you can narrate something particular that is heroic for the moment.
Well, I don't think my lightsaber has sunder. It just has the burn quality.
It does have sunder. Being a lightsaber, it
It
does.
does. Oh,
Sunder him.
man, then no, I activate the sunder quality to go straight through his soul.
Well, that happens automatically. Sunder inflicts damage to his weapon.
His weapon.
Oh, okay. Yes, I want to do that. So it's like I take a one big continuous swipe, like a hack from his chest down and like through his Gatling gun.
Nice.
Good job.
Okay, so okay, so with your Sunder quality, you basically inflict minor damage to his weapon. So now he has to, if I'm not mistaken, roll an extra setback dice with every attack.
Nice.
Yes, very nice.
I'm
And
just
then
reminding myself.
we have a triumph to spend as well, correct?
Oh,
That is how he spent his triumph.
Yeah,
But
that's
he
what
has
about
an
the
advantage to
advantage?
spend
I
too.
know.
Oh, and you have one advantage, which you can do anything that it says on the list you can do with one advantage.
One critical
no.
injury.
Can I put a boost dice for someone?
Yeah, of course.
Then do I have to specify that person or just leave it out there?
You can pick who it goes to, including yourself.
No, I want to give it to the next person.
Then tell us who it goes to.
I guess Tyrus, you're closest to that bomb bitch, so I'm gonna give it to you.
She's not long for this.
I am still desperately looking to see the levels of item damage. I don't want to.
There's 3 of them. There's like white. It's like yellow. It's like yellow, green, red, or something.
I know.
I
I'm
remember
just trying.
looking at that.
We haven't used that one before, so I'm trying to remember what it is. I believe for first minor level damage, he gets a permanent setback dice on all attacks. So we're going to go with that. I don't remember what medium and heavy is. I think heavy is inoperable.
Yeah, once it's red, you have to fix it.
Okay, this
I'll
brings
look that up
us
while you're DMing.
the Stormtrooper squad. Actually, the Imperial technician who already went, and the Stormtrooper squad is last. Okay, so the Stormtrooper squad is going to open fire on you, Tyrus. They witnessed you throwing your lightsaber like that, and it freaks them out.
So this is a melee attack, correct?
This is a ranged attack. They're going to be firing at you with their blaster rifle, which means if you have reflect, you will be able to use it.
I do.
This is going to be awesome.
Ooh.
I have a rank of 1 in reflect.
They rolled 3
my God.
success, 1 advantage, 1 triumph. So the damage is 12. Why don't we talk about what we're going to do about your reflect? So you have 1 rank in reflect, allowing you to suffer.
So I suffer 3 strain to
Correct.
take away 3 damage.
Okay, so the damage is now 9. We're going to add the strain.
And then I have a soak.
So, LB, minor damage is 1 setback dice, moderate is 1 purple dice, and major is unused.
Thank you. Where did you see that?
Also, I am wielding a lightsaber, so my weapon gains the defensive quality with a rating equal to the ranks in defensive.
Oh, okay. So let me roll a setback dice. Then thank you for reminding me. The advantage is gone. The triumph still has to be dealt with. So the total damage will be 6. So Tyrus, you flip around Tal Shandir, which thank goodness you brought it back to your hand, actually. And you manage to deflect a lot of the bolts, but one of them gets past and strikes you on the arm. Oh, good. You don't have any wounds yet, thank goodness. So you're about moderately injured by that.
I do now.
You're gripping your left arm and having to fight to wield the lightsaber. Fortunately, you can wield it remotely. The triumph. Let's see. They are going to. Them hitting you like that and wounding you, you're going to have to upgrade any future attack against this Stormtrooper squad once, for one time. I'll remind you of that later. Now we're back at the top of the round, going back to our space battle.
we have discussed that we would let Ishwar go first on this round.
Yes.
TIE bomber
The
goes
player
first.
slot, right? Oh, the TIE bomber goes first? Okay.
Moving farther away. Now, first round for the players is going to Ishwar.
I am going to, again, take another strain and turn my turret around and double aim at the ace. And I will be using a force point to upgrade my pool again.
And please
Alright.
consider his defenses are lowered from my hacking.
Thank you for reminding me. So he has no shielding.
So no difficult. What's the difficulty?
The difficulty is still 2 purple dice, and you're still hitting the green plus to upgrade it, but you will not have to roll any black dice.
Oh
Wow.
yes.
What is with all the triumphs tonight? It's crazy.
Yes.
Yo, for real.
That upgrade gave me that triumph right there.
Okay, so we have 3 successes, 1 advantage, 1 triumph. So your 3 successes, you manage to flip the turret around behind you. As you open fire, you strike. Knowing that the shields are down, you're able to inflict direct hull damage. He takes 9 damage.
Let's
Where is
see.
he?
As the triumph, can I critical?
Yes, we'll get to that in just a moment. There he is. Okay, so he is taking 9 damage. His armor is only 2. That's interesting. So 7 hull trauma is the correct term, hull trauma. So he is severely injured. You can see severe damage to his right wing as he's starting to kind of maneuver oddly from it. And yes, if you choose, you can spend your triumph as a critical hit.
I will do so and hope we get a second shot on him or some other disabling feature.
Losing power to shields.
Oh, that keeps his defense down, right?
It will keep it down, yeah.
Yes.
Let's see how that works. 26. -1 defense in a defensive zone until repaired. If no defense, which technically he has no defense at this particular moment, he will also suffer a strain.
Which is damage, right?
No, he has system strain, so he's going to take
Okay.
system strain. So, all right. Subsequent criticals will compound on that one. Nice hit.
Yes. Thank you. Next.
Next, the TIE Pilot Squadron. They are going to fire at your escort, trying to take down the X-Wings that are giving you cover.
Oh, before we go on, I will give 1 boost dice to Sarah on her next attack. With my
Okay.
advantage.
Okay, with 8 damage, one of the 3 wings is... it's still intact. There are 2 of the 3 of that group still alive. And we move to the next party player slot, Victor or Jensa.
Jitsa, can you
Oh,
dash
hold
around
up.
and try and take him out?
Hold up 1 second. I forgot something very critical, which is going to determine how quickly this section ends. Everybody roll 1 force dice.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Damn.
Oh boy. Hey, Schwer on the light side. Oh, but it's not enough.
Oh, we're getting punished for the all
The doom clock is forward.
God is angry.
Hey, we held off the doom clock the last 2-3 minutes.
We did all that we can do.
Yeah, we did. Sure.
No.
I blame Sarah and her rats.
Okay, so just so you guys know, this will be the last round of this particular phase. No pressure, but Victor, go ahead.
I'm gonna pass to Jinsa if there's a chance that she can turn around and take out the ace.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea as well.
I think I'm gonna try to.
Okay, crack pilot Jensa, what are you gonna do?
I give you the slot.
I will whip around and try to take out the. And I have a destiny point for this.
Would we also want to switch our
Yes,
wing over
please.
to help us attack?
Please say that
Extra
again.
Boost dice?
Let's do that.
How do you want to spend your maneuver? Because you're already in close range, so you don't have to spend one to get there.
I will aim.
Yes. All the boost dice you can throw in.
Boost everything.
Make it happen.
So,
Yeah, you can aim or you can stay on target. You can either do any of those things.
Are you fighting? Are you shooting? You should spend a destiny point.
I am.
Oh,
Yeah,
she
she's-
totally will. Yeah.
I already said I would. Let's go ahead and stay on target, because that affects
Okay.
everybody until my next turn.
So actually, you're going to be making 2 upgrades on this roll, this gunnery check. One for the destiny point, one for stay on target.
Ooh.
And didn't Ishwar give me a boost last
did.
turn?
You do,
What
you get a
boost
boost
dice?
dice.
All right. Jinsa basically swivels the ship around and fires at him as he is up our butt, I believe.
Pulls a U-turn.
U-turn.
Fucking score.
Yes!
Four successes and four advantages.
Critical.
Jensa,
Just to make sure.
you can critical or you can activate the linked quality and get a second hit. Which will you take? You rolled 4 successes, 4 advantages.
Second hit. It'll do enough damage to destroy him because it does an extra base damage to your gunner.
Is that what you're gonna do? A second hit?
Does that mean I have to roll again?
No, no. What's gonna happen is
Guns are late.
we apply. I think I'm gonna say I have to double check, but I'm gonna say we apply the damage twice. I actually forget the nuance of that. So you do get a second attack against the same target. I'll let you decide. You want to re-roll it or take what you got?
I'm gonna take what I got. I can't.
You got 9 damage, so.
Yeah.
So he is going to take a total of 18 damage. So you have annihilated him. So Jensa, please tell us how this looks.
She basically swings the ship around, probably dislodging. Well, I guess gravity's kind of keeping us in place, so definitely quickly enough to kind of jar everyone on the ship. Just swings it around, starts flying backwards as she's shooting dead on at the ace, staring into his cockpit as his ship explodes. And as soon as it does, she swivels around the other way and keeps out after the bombers.
You hear the remaining 2 members of your X-Wing squadron screaming over the intercom in joy at that ace kill right there.
Yeah, I'm sure they didn't like him too much. I think he killed all their friends. So that
Yeah,
would
he
suck.
did.
You only need to spend 2 of those advantage to get the link.
Correct. You have 2 advantage unspent.
I will pass those on over to Ishwar.
You could perform an immediate free maneuver if you want, or you can pass the boost dice.
Yeah,
Well,
let's-
if I can perform an immediate maneuver, can I full throttle to catch up with the bombers?
Is that a maneuver or an action? I forget.
Full throttle. A full throttle. To take a full throttle action, make a hard piloting check to increase a vehicle's top speed by 1 for a number of rounds equal to your cunning.
Okay, so it is an action. So as
But
a maneuver,
How
you,
much speed does she need to catch up with the bombers?
let's see. They are moving at their max speed of 4. What's your ship's max speed? Is 3. So they will continue widening the gap on you.
Yeah, so she would need to full throttle to catch up with them.
I guess I'm going first next round. So I'm just going to stay on them as best I can.
it's use a maneuver to kind of close a little bit of the gap?
Yeah, I'll use the maneuver to close the gap. I can punch it, but I'm already going max speed, I believe.
I believe you are, yes.
Yeah.
That brings us to Vic.
So I am going to attempt to hack the ship that is getting the closest to the cruiser.
Okay.
And hopefully attempt to either shut their weapons down or give them enough strain. There's two bombers left, right?
There are 2 bombers left, and let me tell you, if you can swing another triumph, I will be generous with the effects.
All right, that's when I'm going to go for the Hail Mary on the bomber that's closest to the ship. And as my maneuver act, if I don't pull off the miracle, I am going to try and coordinate with the rebel ship and let them know that the closest bomber, I am trying to take its shields down and to focus fire on the closest bomber. So hopefully they have a gun. I'm hoping they have a gun.
It is a Mon Calamari cruiser, so they have a good chance at defense.
I hope so.
So I am going to use Destiny to upgrade it by 1. Hello.
Oh my god.
Hello.
Boom.
Savage.
I told you I'd be generous for a triumph, and you rolled 3 successes and an advantage and a triumph. Victor, narrate the heroic effect of your actions.
So I'm getting on comms with the rebel ship, and I am telling them the closest bomber has no shields. Focus fire. It's dead in the... And just as I say that, the shields literally ripple out of effect, and the bomber's engines stall, and it just starts floating into a field of green laser fire.
And Victor, I am going to let you make the roll to represent the ships firing on them.
Ooh.
You're going to be rolling... Hang on, I'll tell you exactly what it is. Okay, you are rolling the gunnery skill of 3 yellow dice, two purple dice, and 2 boost dice.
Can I use my advantage to give them a 3rd blue boost dice?
No, not in this case.
Okay. Can I use a force chit to upgrade their blast?
You can.
Is everybody okay with that, or?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Sure.
This is gonna be ridiculous.
Oh my god! You rolled what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes and a triumph.
A triumph, but also 1 threat.
Right.
Vic, are your fingers smoking from all the triumphs you guys are rolling tonight?
I'm gonna take the threat as a setback dice on my next action because I am going to be celebrating, much like our X-wing squad. So
that
I'll
was
have to next round jump back on the computer super fast.
That was the thing of beauty. You managed to subvert their systems long enough and send the warning across so that the gunnery of the Mon Calamari cruiser is timed perfectly to the shields flickering down, and you delete the TIE bomber, leaving only 1 left. That was amazing, by the way.
Yeah, this is an amazing turn of events for us, I have to say. Is the last TIE bomber still have escorts? Is that
It does.
Okay.
It does,
That's all I needed to know. Thank you.
This is the last round, so that concludes phase 2 of the space combat, the last round of the engineering battle. We have a party player slot first. Who's going to take it?
Tyrus, go.
Question. What is the status on the Dark Trooper? Because I don't see the damage levels or anything.
Well, I wouldn't tell you specifics, but you can tell he's moderately injured. He looks slightly effed.
I am actually going to turn my attention to the technique. I am going to use my influence, control, emotion, belief power to convince her that she has targeted the wrong system and to power down the explosive.
Okay.
I have a really big implant I'm going to show her later.
Okay, so okay, so actually, I'm gonna allow, I try not to make it, because force influence is merely influence, and technically in combat, it's supposed to inflict strain and have limited abilities. However, it's not like mind control. However,
I'm gonna
you can make her believe that she set the device in the wrong place. I think that's actually a good way to phrase it.
Force a target to adopt an emotional state or belief of something that's untrue. Lasting for 5 minutes, which should get our asses off the ship.
Tyrus a case of head-on, if this works, to help with the strain.
Actually, I use turtle wax.
Oh, really? So I figured you use the little head-on apply directly to the forehead.
Get him at 10.
As the glare blinds my opponents.
Okay, Big T, you're gonna have to make some rolls for me. I want to see a force roll, please. 2 force dice.
1 die.
2, but you have a force rating of 2. Why would you not apply all of your skill?
I'm going to use
Tyrus.
both dark points.
Okay, Tyrus. Now I will bear in mind if you activate.
Give into the hate.
If you use dark side points to activate that power, the flavor of what you inflict in her thinking has to be dark-sided. So will you want to amend what you're going to make her think?
I'm going to make her think she's an abject failure with no moral center or use in the universe. She's targeted the wrong system, and she needs to take the bomb and then go run down to that shaft and throw herself. Is that dark
They're
enough?
all laughing at you.
All right, you managed to paint it darkly enough.
Sorry, I'm a method actor. I can't help myself.
Tyrus, you will be taking 2 strain
I feel bad for Jimmy later.
and 2 conflict, which I'm sure you don't mind. And now, I need you to roll me an opposed discipline check. She gets a chance to resist. So you're going to roll your discipline skill. And
Might I add, with Bior's generous gift of a boost dice.
Yeah.
Yes, and let me tell you what the difficulty will be. Because she
Doesn't
is
look very bright.
a lowly technician. Okay, she's just rolling. Oh, it's 2 purple dice. That's the difficulty.
And then how do I add the boost? Just the green plus?
A blue.
No,
Blue.
the blue.
Just the blue. Okay,
1
I
blue
can
boost
never tell.
dice.
My man.
Oh, baboom. Okay, so you roll 4 successes. So you actually succeed, and at her turn, she will react to what you have inflicted upon her. And the extra successes I'm going to be inflicting on her as strain, since she is just a rival. That will be represented as wounds. So your dark-sided mental intrusion is going to have clouded her thinking significantly, and we'll resolve that on her turn. That brings us to the Dark Trooper, who sees you, Bior, before him with a lightsaber. And as a droid, he will have in his databanks information about the natural enemy to the Empire, the traitors, and political insurgents who were the Jedi. And he would
They
be
were
directing.
terrorists.
And he will be directing his ire at you as an enemy to the Emperor.
Bring it.
+1 setback dice.
Yes, thank you for reminding me, because I forget that stuff.
Well, I don't
And-
want to see Bior turned into a pile of goo.
Yeah,
Neither
no.
do I.
That's very good of you.
Bior, do you have any defense I need to take into account? Range defense? No.
I have no range. No, I have 1 melee.
I have a question. Because Bior's right next to him and he's using that giant Gatling gun, does he also take setback dice because of that?
He absolutely does.
Yes, I was about to say, you're right.
Melee engaged. Okay, let me be specific. Melee engaged with range heavy does not get a setback dice. I actually have to add a whole extra purple dice.
Oh, even better.
Sweet.
I thought, yeah, oh yeah. If it takes a gunnery skill, he can't even use it at engaged. If I remember.
It is true, but I think it's ranged heavy. Let me double check.
Okay, all right.
I love that you know that.
Wow, we have a rocket launcher. I had to look up the rules.
Snap, bam, boom. It is actually gunnery. He cannot do it.
Awesome!
Yeah.
Bior, you can kiss the droid. Wait, who said that? Was that? That was Ishwar that said that, wasn't it? Yes. You're gonna kiss a Wookiee later.
My boy.
So he is too harried by your in his face, and he actually takes his fist and attempts to drive it right into you.
I don't know if that's any better.
He has melee defense,
but
so
he
that
does
also adds setback dice.
Yeah, I got a melee defense, and can I parry a punch?
Why
You
not?
absolutely can. I am adding a boost dice.
You're gonna pair with the lightsaber? Ouch.
Man,
Okay,
Jesus.
so he rolled 3 successes, 2 advantage. The damage is stand 1 second. Brawn plus 2, so his damage is 6, 7, 8 damage. The 2 advantage is not enough to crit. So you will be taking 8 damage. Do you want to parry?
Yes, most definitely.
Most absolutely definitely.
Oh,
You have
my
a
game
rank.
must have crashed. Did you roll that? I didn't see it at all. Sorry.
I did, yeah. Okay,
How do I
so
roll parry?
parry, you're going to suffer 3 strain, which I will add. And you get to reduce the damage by 2 plus your ranks and parry, so by 5.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then do you have any soak? Because you also reduce it by that.
Yeah, I got my 4 soak.
Okay, so,
no
alright, Byron, so what happens here is he drives his fist back, and you can see the force on this. I mean, it would be enough to take an average person's head off their shoulders. However, you pivot and drive Sirocco up and hit his arm with it, forcing it sideways, and it goes right over your shoulder and beside your ear, and you can hear the whoosh in your ear as this arm like flies right by you. He does no damage to you.
Sweet.
We are back
that
to
is so sick.
Triumph without a triumph.
a party player slot.
I'll go. So
Kip.
once again, it is my mechanics. It's a boost dice from Remus. Thanks, Reem.
Boost dice from Remus. 2 purple, 1 red.
2 purple, 1 red.
You get to
I'm going
negate
to
the black dice.
Yes. Again, suffer 2 strain to reduce that red to a purple.
Okay, so it's 3 purple.
Yep.
Do you want to spend a
Should
destiny
I-
point?
There are 4 left. Yes, I will.
Upgrade that
upgrade.
dice check. Upgrade that ability pool once.
Got
a lot
it.
rides on
Okay.
this. A lot rides on
Here
this.
we go.
Oh!
Oh my god.
Okay, so first of all, 3 successes, meaning you are now at 11 out of 15 total successes. You have fixed the hyperdrive motivator, which is now perfectly working. You can hear it hum to life with a deep internal satisfaction. As you can see, the hyperdrive is actually almost fully repaired. You also scored a triumph. Now, in addition to the normal effects of the triumph, you have gained control to the environmental systems, and you can choose to either inactivate internal gravity on the ship, or you can vent gamma radiation in an area of your choosing.
How many stormtroopers are down there?
There are still 4 intact stormtroopers.
There are stormtroopers right here on top of a vent. Am I right?
Yes.
Didn't we vaporize 2 of the stormtroopers
No,
and the other was
no.
covered with the ash of his comrade?
You hit the Dark Trooper, actually. Initially, I narrated it as if you hit the wrong target.
Sorry, wrong way.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
GMF up.
Those bitches. Yeah. I will vent gamma radiation on those three right there.
So even though normally you're oblivious to your surroundings when you're working, you are able to pick up on the commotion that your comrades are going through as they're fighting. And once you get the motivator back online, one of the ways the hyperdrive system work is utilizing gamma radiation to create sort of a impulse wave. And you actually short circuit that and flood this entire area in the bottom here with gamma radiation. All of these 3 targets take 8 damage. It has no effect on the Dark Trooper, whose soak can absorb that. However, the Imperial Technician, literally her skin starts to blister. As you can see, she's almost like, the skin is almost like melted off of her. She's almost dead. And the stormtroopers, 2 of them immediately drop dead as well, of the 4. They just kind of burn, as you can see, smoking from, and the whole area is sort of glowing green over there. So for the remainder of the turn, anyone walking in that area will also take similar damage.
GM, what is the effect of the radiation on the detonator?
Apparently none.
And is she, had she already activated it, or it was still pending her final adjustment?
It was still pending her final adjustment.
So it's inert at the moment.
So she was spending an additional maneuver to activate the detonator, which she would not technically have finished until her turn comes up this round. So not only have you, let's just say, interfered with her, but she did not get to finish that at this time.
Could we rephrase interfere with her?
You mind fucked her. Is that better?
I know, but I wasted a mind condom, and now she's toast. So
At
I
least
should
you
have
used a
redirected
mind condom. I don't know where that brain has been.
So
mother
can
taught
we
me.
use that threat? Well, you get to decide what the threat is, but I'm assuming it's going to be a strain. Actually, the question is, Kip hasn't been moving at all. Could he have used his maneuvers to do anything like get a boost to aim or anything like that?
In terms of what you're doing, not really.
I didn't think so.
You could have taken a defensive position in case you were attacked.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but that's not what he would do. Okay, so if you want to give him an extra strain, that's fine. He's like his nose is bleeding now. He's like,
I am giving you that strain. You're 10 out of 13 strain, so you are hanging on. You're getting tunnel vision here.
right. He doesn't even notice, but there's blood literally dripping from his nose down his chin. It's just dripping down. Right? But he's not paying attention to that because that's for losers, and Kip is not a loser.
Okay, so it is the Imperial officer's turn, who runs around the corner and sees his reinforcements and immediately downgrades his maneuver to an action so he can stay safe behind cover. And with his overwhelming fire maneuver, he is going to allow these stormtroopers to take an attack roll, who they will direct that against Bior. No, they will not, because their comrade is in the way and it will interfere with their shot. They're going to shoot at you.
That was my question.
Not me again.
At you. They're going to shoot at you. Okay.
Hey, would one say, since he's laying on the ground, that he has some cover?
Okay, I have to thank you again, because your attention to detail is ridiculously fantastic.
Ishwar's on point.
No, I have to thank you.
No, I literally, that brings me glee. I love that you remember these small details.
And the
So
MVP goes to...
You get cover. First of all, I did not give them their damage. So their skill check is actually different. With minion waves, each one that dies, their skills decrease. So it is now a downgraded skill, and 1 setback dice, and 2 difficulty. Do you have any ranged defense, Tyrus?
Me? Yes.
Oh no, you have 1 melee defense. That's different. Okay.
No, I
And you
have,
have parry.
I have both.
Oh! You have a defensive quality on your lightsaber, right?
I am a very defensive player. Let's see.
You do.
I do.
Okay, so they managed to hit you with 1 success, 1 advantage. Do you have reflect?
I have reflect and I have parry, so reflect is what I was referring to.
Yes. Let's
So 3
activate.
strain, 2 plus 1 reflect. So I get a 3 reduction for reflect.
2 plus ranks and parry, so you take 7 damage.
And then
What's
I
your
have-
soak? What's your soak?
My soak is 3.
Alright, so you take 4 damage as the
Uh-oh.
hail of blaster fire kind of causes minor injury. Ooh. Is that right? You have 9 wounds?
I didn't think so, but that's what it's.
Oh, you had 6 from last time.
Ah.
Yeah,
Still.
that makes sense.
I have a stim pack in my back pocket if anyone cares.
Alright, so wait, you had 6, you took away 3, 7, your soak is 4, so 7, 8, 9. So you are severely injured, not quite down. And Tyrus, it is your turn. Or it is some party member's turn who has not gone yet.
What is the
I haven't
status
done
of the
that.
Dark Trooper?
The Dark Trooper looks moderately damaged to you.
Well, if no one minds, with my last dying breath, I'd like to attack this MS.
My parry didn't count as my turn, did it?
No, that's an
No.
incidental, meaning you can activate it whenever you're attacked.
Okay.
Sorry, Tyrus, you actually already went. You mind that lady.
I thought so, yeah.
Oh, okay. So who has not gone yet? That would be L3.
Bior and L3.
Okay. All right. Who's
I
going?
sense a Me Too campaign against Tyrus. I'm really not comfortable. I'd like to apologize for anyone I've made feel uncomfortable with my
she did-
actions.
She totally did not give you consent to that.
She was toast before anything actually happened, so it was good.
Oh, that's I get the bad trumpet.
Bad trombone.
I'm
All right. Who's
going
going?
right here?
Yeah, I'll go. I'm gonna take another hack at this Dark Trooper. I'm gonna try to get rid of him. Hope.
All right. By our shin. Roll it. Wait. Before you do, allow me to remind you that you have to add 1 black dice to represent his melee defense.
Oh, okay. Oh, as my maneuver, can I get into my defensive stance?
Yes, absolutely you can.
Okay, sweet. So I'll do that and then I attack.
So you'll be rolling 2 purple dice, 1 black dice. What is with all the triumphs? Okay, so you rolled success, 2 threat, 1 triumph. So with the success, 6 damage total.
Sunder that weapon.
Your breach gets through 5, so you would do a total of 3 damage, which I'll just add now. Now, you can sunder his weapon, or you can inflict a critical on him.
Let's do that critical.
Okay, we're gonna roll a critical on this bow. 85.
That is a good roll.
Oh shit, shoot. I rolled a vehicle critical, I think. Okay, so I'm keeping the number. I'm keeping the number. It was 85. Let's see what it was.
Well, given his size and a droid.
Winded, cannot suffer voluntary strain till the end of the encounter. Okay. And actually that adds additional damage too, so.
God, welcome to the party, Frank. Man, whew.
I can't hear you over my sparking chest plate.
And
Can't hear you over all these triumphs. What?
it's kind of freakish how many triumphs we're rolling this game.
Oh yeah.
L3.
Alright, was this the last round of both phases, or?
It is. This is the close. This is nearly the closing of the bell here.
So, my turn would be like the last turn? Or we still have one round after that?
The stormtrooper squad gets to fire again. And the
Also,
technician has to go.
Before anything else happens, we have forgotten about our lonely trooper squad over here that does stuff to him.
Oh, that's right.
There's one guy still there.
So it doesn't matter. He can still do something.
Hey, Lan. Ensign
take it-
Ricky can help.
Take it
He
as
can
a boost
smoke.
dice. Take it as an extra boost dice. They are
That sounds
firing
good.
in coordination with you.
Well, given that he's assessed the situation and seen what we're up against, yes, L3, despite his injuries, will move and engage the Dark Trooper. Actually, probably try to... Basically, he'll try to position himself best so the massive droid is blocking the shots of the other trooper.
Force dice step.
And yeah, I will force dice.
Well, may I remind you, you have a talent you might want to use.
Oh yeah, actually. Oh, that's right.
Which?
So you can either
Is it tap
spend...
dance?
You could do one of two things. You could spend the destiny point to increase your dice roll, but you also have that soft spot talent, don't you? Doesn't that use a destiny point?
No, I believe
Wow.
it's strength. Hold on, let me take a look.
Yeah, tell me what that does again.
I believe I'd have to hit first, and then I could use a destiny point to strength.
But you
To
can't
trigger.
use two in one turn, so you'd have to decide how you want to use it.
After making a successful attack, may spend one destiny point to add damage equal to cunning. You know
So,
what? Go
yeah.
big or go home. I'll attack without the destiny point, and hopefully I can trigger.
All right. You will be
You
rolling.
have a boost.
You will be rolling your Vibrio Rapier attack, 2 purple dice, 1 blue dice, 1 black dice, because he has melee defense of 1.
Okay. Oh, wish me luck, guy.
Yeah.
Yes!
Huzzah!
2 success, 1 advantage, and you can activate soft spot and spend a destiny point if you would like.
I will do that, and I will add 4 points onto that.
So total damage of 10. Your Vibrio Rapier has Pierce 5,
Pierce of
ignore
5.
5 points of soak. So you have done a net total of 7 damage, which kills him, as a matter of fact. Narrate that for us, please.
Huzzah!
Basically, like, I'm at Bior's side as he's like doing these twirling slashes and going in with his lightsaber, while like L3 is almost perfectly still amongst the chaos of combat. His rapier drawn back, waiting for like the perfect time to strike, and just as Bior gives him the opening, he'll surge inward, the tip of his rapier piercing like a weak spot in the armor and skewering its data core.
All right. So as he crumbles to the ground, his head kind of disconnects from the chassis of the body.
The head of the Dark Trooper?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's interesting. My character is like, his bloodline has always needed one of those, so I keep it.
Okay, so Bior, you pick up the Dark Trooper head, and now
Exactly, spare parts.
the Imperial technician. The Imperial technician shakes her head, skin blistering off. Looks like Spock at the end of Star Trek II as he tries to fix the warp drive, and he's all blistered and nasty. She gets confused, picks up the detonite charge while it is still active, and begins running towards the other end of the room. As she does,
Get your con, so.
the detonite charge explodes. knocking both of you, L3 and Bior, down. You would take 3 damage from it. It respects soak, so if you have soak greater than that, you don't take damage. And it kills the remaining stormtroopers here.
Oh, I just brushed that off.
Same. It actually puts out a few sparks.
And now, as chaos is erupting all around you guys, as the crew of the Errant Seeker is desperately trying to pilot to protect the oncoming bomber rush, which was glowingly successful, by the way, as the Intrepid Will's drawing closer to your frigate, and as you guys have struggled to regain control of the engineering deck and repair the hyperdrive, this phase of the battle draws to a conclusion, and we're going to roll for the mass combat that is going on around you. You have done all you can to tilt the scales in your favor. As the Intrepid Will gets in range of the Mon Calamari cruiser, we are constructing the Imperial ability check, which is basically 2 green and upgraded to 1 yellow. So 2 green, 1 yellow, because their commander is still intact. The difficulty would normally be 2 purple. Now, normally it was 1 black dice for every bomber that lived. You killed 2, so it's only 1. It would also have been 1 extra black dice if the TIE Ace had lived, and 1 extra black dice if the Dark Trooper lived. I am giving you a blue dice to represent the morale for the incredible and heroic actions that were taken during this, particularly all of the Triumph-related actions. Now, the only thing you do not have, unfortunately, is the upgrade for your leadership, because the bridge has been neutralized and you had too much going on in engineering to do something about that yet. So we are now going to roll this to see the result. Okay,
Yay!
so no, it's not yay, because the attacker is the one rolling this. This is the Empire.
Hold on, the attacker is the Dark Troop.
Cheater.
Okay, so really, despite valiant effort, basically, as the Intrepid Will gets in close enough to the Mon Calamari cruiser and the last bomber makes his run, the chain guns on the capital ships started exchanging fire with each other. The fleet battles kind of...
we took a boost dice from them? Is that how the dice rolled out?
Say that again?
That we took a boost dice from them? Is that how that rolls?
No, you got an extra boost dice for the morale of your sort of Triumph factions. So I gave you an extra boost for that.
But why did they get the boost?
Why did they get the boost, though?
Oh, snap! Hold on.
Yeah, because that looks like our roll.
That's what I was like, that's our roll.
I'm like, wait a minute. Why did
Oh,
you
feels like a North Carolina election. I'm very confused.
Oh, there's a hanging Chad. Hang on. Okay, Florida election, Broward County election. I can say that.
Hanging Chad.
I can say that because we live here. So,
I used to live there. I was like...
Let's review this dice roll one more time. We have the skill part, which is 2 green, 1 yellow. We have the difficulty, which represents 2 purple with no upgrade. You have the... Okay, the blue dice is correct. That represents the 1 bomber that got by. And then their black dice represents your morale.
Yeah,
So that's correct. Okay. I'm glad you made me think about that, though. No, but the roll is correct, actually. Okay, so as the fleet battle's going on around you, the Intrepid Will, the bomber, all of that comes together. Unfortunately, the Mon Calamari cruiser is lost in the combat. And as you hear sort of shouting over the intercom, the last thing you hear the Mon Calamari captain, the admiral, saying is for all forces to retreat and support the rebel ship Tenacity in its escape. This is a good time for you guys to escape as Jensa. As you start to race away, because you're in dangerously close proximity to the Intrepid Will at this time, The last thing you see as the capital ships are fighting and the fractured hull of the Mon Calamari cruiser begins to split, a wing of Y-wing bombers is immediately ejected from one of the remaining hangar bays as a last desperate attempt and fleet support as the cruiser kind of is destroyed right in front of you. This group of Y-wings will be involved with you on your last phase of this combat. So, what we're going to do...
Victor in the cockpit. So all this over the box, huh?
So what we're going to do, just so you know, you guys...
I guess.
You guys have a Y-wing escort. If you are able to, in the next phase, if you choose to, you can try and escort the Y-wings for an attack run on the Intrepid, if you are brave enough to do so. If you can succeed in getting them to the ship and making a successful bombing run, you have a chance at significantly damaging the cruiser before it can close. The other team, you have now secured engineering. Kip is still working desperately to finish the hyperdrive, and you have a chance to try and regain control of the bridge if you choose to.
This is happening basically, Albie. We just had a conversation. We are not suicide for the rebellion bomber captains. We are survivalists, mercenaries, and we have a drug run that we have to finish.
Up to you.
We're concerned with getting Master Nguyen out, so we want to dock ASAP because we trust that Kip has done his.
Well, you're on the commune comms. Maybe you can make a little conversation.
Can we hear anything that's going on with our party at all?
Depends if they were broadcasting anything to you.
I remember at some point there was, but I don't.
Okay, well, at this point, I'm going to broadcast to them, hey, what's your status out there? It's getting ugly out here. We need to go.
Chip just responds, I'm busy. Leave me alone.
That sounds like my toddler. That is literally something my toddler says.
We need intel to make smart decisions, Kip. Or is the ship ready to go or not?
He doesn't respond because he actually told you to leave him alone.
Well, this is totally not helpful.
Is Bior there? I think Tyrus.
Could you put Bior on the phone, please?
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Is Tyrus AFK? Is that the problem?
Yeah, are they AFK? Because I'm assuming they would answer you.
Because I would have asked.
Leave me alone.
Kip.
Sorry. Yeah, what happened? I'm sorry. I missed it.
Jensa calmed into you and Tyrus and said, what's the status out there because it's getting really ugly out here and we need to go.
It's getting way more under control here, but
are you going to be able to jump?
Kip's done, right? We can get out of here.
No.
Kip is not
Correction.
done.
The bridge.
He's not done. He's close, but he's not done.
Give us a little bit more time. Kip's gonna finish this, and we'll head out of here ASAP. But give Kip a little bit more time.
You would hear Kip would understand that the Wookiee is complaining and wants to really make these Empire bastards burn and wants to destroy this big ship. Feel free to ignore him.
Well, it seems like they have everything on the ship handled.
Hey, can I get Tyrus and Kip close together or in proximity so that I could heal both of them?
Yeah, up to you guys.
That's where you were.
You have 5 minutes to regroup your thoughts, so you have kind of just give yourself like a sort of a round to catch your breath for a second, and if you want to use a heal or I'll allow sort of a single heal check for each character if you'd like.
Let me do that because I have the heal strain as well, so I can.
Oh yes,
I can.
please.
Well,
So, yeah, let me-
since they haven't mentioned that the cabin's still being held or that there's stormtroopers still running around the ship, I'm going to assume everything's a-okay. Going to look at Ishwar and Victor. What do you guys want to do?
Ishwar will make a case for
Suicide run.
trying to
Okay.
cripple the ship. No, he wouldn't. He'd be like, no, we should cripple the ship and go for the engines and get out of here.
By the way, what happened to the officer down there?
Yeah, he's still.
he ran.
L3
he,
has-
he
Trying to
ran.
wait for
He ran. He fled for the moment.
Damn.
I'm trying to wait on Tyrus because he would obviously respond.
Well, sorry, my forehead was stuck to the floor. I couldn't hear it.
It became a floor head.
Jinsa came and said, "Hey,
That
are
was
you guys?
terrible.
Are you
Clean
guys
up on
basically?"
aisle 3.
Jinsa basically said, "Are you guys ready to go? It's really bad out here. We need to go." And Bior or Kip said, "Leave me alone. I'm busy." And which I just see mean.
He isn't. He's a teenager. What do you expect?
No, my toddler literally
He's
says, "Leave me
busy."
alone. I'm busy." She does that all the time.
Okay, so we are going to pick up where we
But-
left off. You get a moment to gather yourselves. Heal if you want to.
I basically said, "Are you guys ready to go?" Bior said, "Everything's fine. We just need a few minutes." He didn't mention that the captain, the
I
ship
could
is still
use
in
some
assault.
healing. Can I use my stim pack?
Hold on. Let me do the
Fire's
heal.
healing.
Let me do the
some
heal.
stuff.
Okay, who are you healing, Byron?
Well, I could heal if they're close. I could heal 2 people because I have the magnitude up once.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I'm gonna heal the strain from Kip or any damage that he has from both of them.
Just strain. That's all I need.
All right. So what's the total on the heal? You rolled two light side points. So how does remind me what the amount is?
Hold up, I'm looking that up.
Also,
Force
one
heal
light-
is you have magnitude. So you spend one of your. Okay, so you have to spend 2. You're gonna have to take that dark side point.
Oh,
Tag-
that's fine.
Yeah, to
that's
activate
fine.
the heal. Okay, so you have to take 1 conflict, 1 strain. Okay, so you heal wounds equal to intellect on both people and hang on.
Yeah, I will say to Ishwar, maybe this flying stuff ain't our business. Let's get into May.
Well, they
Okay,
seem to be
so
fine,
and you can
so-
heal strain as well. So 4 health, 4 strain for 2 people. Who are those 2 people?
Tyrus and Kip.
So, Albie, you gonna take care of that?
Yep.
On those sheets.
All right,
You
so
see
that's
L-
been resolved. L3, you're gonna do.
Well, as he watches this miraculous force endowed healing between the two of them, like you'll see his head swivel back and forth and almost an accusing look. The red eye slowly bleeds back to blue. And just for flavor effect, Albie, can I have L3 record that situation with the officer so he might be able to remember or spot him if he ever comes across that guy again?
Absolutely. You have recorded it to your memory banks.
Good. L3 will remember the damage that he suffered from that guy's hand. And then he will expend another emergency repair kit, which I believe I spent one last time, and you said it started at 5 and reduced by 1 every time I used one?
Correct. So now you will heal 4 wounds,
Yes.
essentially. So your wounds
Correct.
are down to 2. And
That would reduce the repair kit to 3. Perfect. And I no longer have the grenade.
And I want, okay, so I already removed the grenade, didn't I? No?
I see it's still in my inventory. Maybe.
Oh, sorry, I didn't. You're so honest. I love that. I'd like everyone to roll one discipline or cool check with no difficulty. Just roll the check. One, you can choose which one's better, discipline or cool.
Also, just to check on the rules. Am I still winded from that?
The winded is a critical injury, so you are that remains there until someone can spend time repairing that critical injury. So that's going to require a little time. Okay. Oh, no, that's true. I'm sorry, that part is true, but the critical injury remains. So the effect will terminate at the end of the encounter, but the critical injury stays on your character, and the reason that's important is if you suffer another critical injury, it adds +10 to the roll. So bear in mind, when possible, probably after all this is finished, you guys have to get rid of those if you can. Now, everybody who rolled, the advantages are disregarded, but the successes, that's how many strain you heal.
That's how many we heal?
That's how many strain you heal by resting for a short, like 5 minutes.
Sweet. Oh, nice.
Okay, so are you going to do that to?
Yeah.
Or should we
Sorry,
do
what
to
was
our-
that?
our-
I already changed mine. Sorry.
All right, that's good.
Sorry,
Tyrus got how many?
I got 4 successes.
Your successes in
Nice.
that roll.
You just healed
You
4
reduce your
strain, which
strain.
means for you 4 heal, 4 wounds. Nice.
4 strain.
L3.
Jensen.
No, I have. I actually have strain.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, and I activate a bunch of abilities with.
I still have
And-
strain too.
All right, so
Advantage.
I think I got
nothing?
everybody.
It's just a strain per success.
1 strain per success, which I already adjusted for you. All right. So, no rest for the weary, unfortunately, as the last phase of the
We've
battle.
slept 3 times since the dumpster moon. Just, you know, 3
Actually,
times.
actually, I know you guys actually don't rest very much. I will point out. Okay, so we are starting. What is your decision on whether or not you're making the bombing run versus fleeing back to the frigate?
We are fleeing back to the frigate.
Okay, so
And on that note, Ishwar is not happy with that choice, but he accepts it, and I will accept conflict because of my obsessive trait. He would want to finish this, but he would almost demand it. He's not flying the ship, nor does he know how.
Ishwar.
Well, I don't
says-
understand him. I just hear him growling a lot, so
Yeah.
I can tell he's pissed off. But I'm just going to point towards the big Imperial cruiser, and then point around ourselves, and I'm like, "We're mercenaries. That's an Imperial cruiser, and I'm not in the rebellion.
Man, that's a trophy kill right there.
We're not gonna kill it." Okay, I need to stop responding to you. I don't know what you say. I don't know what you say back, but I just turn the ship around and go back.
Okay, so I am removing the space map because that section is now irrelevant. So that means that
You can still be some stormtroopers. You can rip their arms off.
at the
on the
conclusion of
ship.
the sort of period of regrouping time, Jensa, you're able to full throttle and race back, and you come out in the hangar bay, and everyone deboards the Errant Seeker. Now, the 3 of you who are on board, you're going to tell me what you're going to do, and this is pretty much just one sort of action at this time because we're about to enter sort of initiative.
I'm gonna calm Tyrus as we're kind of pulling it. I'm like, "We're docking now. Where are you guys?"
I'm just prying my forehead off the floor and looking around. We're in the engineering deck.
Okay, should we head to you? Is there Byers? Did you had everything under control?
Let's see. Do we do a vigilance check to see where there are still invading troops?
I will let you do vigilance or perception. That will count as sort of like one action before initiative starts.
Hang on one sec.
And it would be 2 purple dice.
Also, we should totally pick up that rotating Gatling.
I get a boost dice from my uncanny reaction to all vigilance checks.
Okay, you can add that. All right, so you rolled 1 success, 2 advantage. So, Tyrus, as you run to the ship systems and you begin to quickly look through the security logs, you can tell that boarding parties were reported on multiple decks. However, security and defense forces have seemed to contain everything except what is going on the bridge. You now have control of the hangars again. Engineering is now secure. Life support secure. The only thing that is currently offline, and there is no response from any of the bridge officers.
So we relay
And
that
as such,
information
you
to Jensa.
technically are not in control of the ship.
Is there any way to do a check that would tell us if there is a separate battle bridge or second? If someone had it, you could do a average knowledge military check. Warfare.
Oh wait, I do have.
I've got warfare.
All 3 probably has warfare too.
I have it as well.
You can assist the other if you want to. Add a boost dice.
I'll assist.
I'll assist. I'm an analyst.
Fire away.
Take an extra boost dice for Tyrus's advantages too. One extra.
So 2 total boost dice or 1?
2 total boost dice.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay, Tyrus. So you are familiar with the Pelta class frigate from your studies. You know, I guess they force you in your immune academies to learn some of the extant military craft. And as you are aware, the main bridge you'd have to access through the turbo lifts. There isn't an accessory bridge. However, you could affect the life support systems from engineering if you chose to, which would, of course, affect the bridge.
So hypothetically, we could incapacitate everyone on the bridge, including the invaders, and then take possession of the secondary bridge.
You could either affect the gravitational systems or reduce the atmosphere in the bridge. Unfortunately,
give setback dice.
Unfortunately, that would require a computers check.
I have one of those too.
So that's the result of the knowledge check. Who has not acted in this sort of last sort of round before we?
I haven't done anything. Can I try to check? Can I try to do mechanics check?
You can do that at the beginning of initiative for the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of us assisted, and then if Kip's not going, I think that's all of us.
Okay.
On this in the engineering.
Victor.
Is there anything
and
Victor
Ishwar
can do
didn't
from
anything?
space?
They are no longer in space. Now, Jensa, Ishwar, Victor are in the hangar bay on this very vessel.
Would Victor be able to spike the control systems to knock out the main bridge?
He would have to come to you.
Are you going to?
Or you
tell
would
us
have
what's
to come
wrong
to
with
me
it?
and tell us what the issue is.
Yeah, I don't think you guys have been
We're told it was
communicating very well,
fine.
so I don't think
Yeah.
they
I mean,
understand.
We asked what was going on. You
Well,
guys-
now that I'm whole because Bior has put the hole in my forehead, can we communicate though indirectly over our comm links, or we actually have to be in the same place?
No, use your comm links.
This is Star Wars.
That's
You
how
have
we were
comm
talking
links.
to you.
Well, I was
space.
assuming that automatically, magically, the comm link, like Siri, would know when I want to talk to Victor. So,
No.
No.
good lord, are we savages?
If Ishwar gets any idea that there's Imperial troops on the bridge, he just starts hustling that.
Does Ishwar know that yet? Is the question.
That is the question, right?
That is the question.
Was it communicated?
Okay, so
No, not yet.
as time is running out, I'm gonna have everybody roll a force dice. 1.
Oh man! Hey!
Hey, I contribute.
We're tied. Oh!
Sorry.
Your fault.
Sorry. Who hasn't rolled?
We got one person. Got one person. That's Sarah.
All right, you guys ready for this?
Give me
You
a
can
double
do
white.
it.
Double white.
Oh! Okay. So we have
cheerful
a
personality.
Welcome, Ken.
net success of light side force points. So you can tell, even though the invading bridge crew is trying to seize the initiative and lock out the other ship systems, you have a additional turn to react before they are able to attempt that. So you
I
can
will
tell,
attempt
Tyrus, you can tell that they are actively trying to lock down the remainder of the ship, including engineering.
Are you going to tell us there's a problem?
So I think if we communicate, my communicator can channel just to Victor, correct?
Well, I'm going to get on that as soon as I figure out the situation. I'm going to ask one of the officers to get me to a terminal that I can attempt to override their hijacking of our systems.
Were we told that there were still troopers on the ship?
Nope, you haven't been told much of anything.
No. We even know to do that?
Well, let Tyrus say what he's going to say.
Well,
How does this thing work? Bang, bang, bang.
aren't there people that do this for me?
That's actually more Tyrus-like.
The
I don't have
droid
to
will look
talk
at
to
you.
people, do I?
Oh yeah, there's that Victor guy.
Well, we have a droid and we have Kip.
I am proficient in all forms of communication.
Kip has already said, leave me alone.
Like,
Just trying to fix the ship we're on.
you see a little bent antenna run, like, extend from his, like, cylindrical head.
So barrel gun.
Sorry, my head still hurts.
So I salvage what I can from the Dark Trooper.
Actually,
now.
Oh,
While we're
no one's
waiting to hear
so-
something
so-
from Tyrus, I'm
no
going to
one's
say they're in
communicating.
engineering. I guess we're going that
That's right.
way.
No one's communicating. So,
communicating,
okay,
okay.
you guys are heading towards engineering?
Well, hang on. I was trying to decide how to communicate, but I think the thing to do is going to be to communicate with Jensen
Okay.
and tell her that of the situation, that there is an accessory bridge, that we need Victor to try to convert the systems, but not to tell the Wookiee.
Why do you not want to tell the Wookiee
He's got a short fuse.
that he's gonna expend on some stormtroopers?
I'm counting on that, but much like a nuclear warhead, deployed at the right time.
I'm cupping my my comm, and I'm looking over to Ishwar saying, apparently the ship's still boarded and there's still troopers on board. Victor, they need you to slice something. Do you need us in engineering,
Yes.
Tyrus?
Wait, whoa, slice what?
Apparently.
Well,
there's
hold on. The
still-
situation in engineering is now we have everyone killed that needs killing. Perhaps we should come to you.
I thought the thing was we had to hack from here to affect the bridge.
I don't know that part.
At this point,
From
I
engineering.
will from engineering, I will try and find some officer on the ship.
Apparently, Imperial
offer
has
my
a bridge. I don't know.
assistance.
Not to mention Kip hasn't finished the repairs, so we should probably say, why don't you come to us?
And the Wookiee starts hustling.
I go with the. Victor, you come?
I'm trying to find a terminal.
He tosses you a frag grenade since you're coming with him.
Okay,
Didn't you have
so
to slice it from engineering?
you do, yeah.
So I'm hustling to
So-
engineering.
That's where we're all.
So we're all
Okay.
going to. You're all coming to engineering.
I am armed. I have a gun in my hand.
Perennially.
I love Jensa.
Just letting you know.
It is drawn. Her finger's on the trigger.
It is drawn.
Her palm
My
is
finger's on the
sweating.
trigger. It is
She
not
goes to
put
the
on
dry
stud.
cleaner. She's got a gun. What do you expect?
Okay,
If
so
I
you
had
guys.
had a gun for more than a day, I have disabled the stun option on it.
She actually removed the stun option. Okay, so you guys make it to engineering. You see, Victor and Ishwar and Jen says, you come in, there's, fragments of...
Before we enter engineering officially,
Yes.
I would like to, as we approach, I am going to use my force sense power to try and detect presences in the room ahead of us.
Okay, so for Force Sense, I need you to roll a Force dice for your Force rating, which is 2.
There we go.
Now, okay, you have some upgrades here, so...
I'm not going to upgrade it this time. I just want to know how many people and where they are.
Okay, so before you walk in, as you
And I'm
pause...
approaches cautiously.
As you pause and reach out with your senses, the range on this is really sort of short range. So as you are outside of engineering, you can feel, several meters around you in every direction, including through the walls into engineering. And you do feel the presence of familiar consciousness. So nothing alien or foreign, nothing hostile as far as you can tell.
Okay, then if that's the case, then I will enter. Still cautiously, but enter. And I'm shooting, looking for cover just in case we come under fire.
Okay, and as you enter, you see, surprisingly, order restored here. There are dead stormtroopers,
Oh,
some kind of huge dead Imperial droid on the ground. There's some poor Imperial technician whose skin is basically melted off. And everything is scorched around you on the ground. However, you see Tyrus and L3. I don't believe you've met L3 yet, so you see a strange droid in front of you, and Bior.
And then I will put my blaster away, and I will say, what's the situation?
Wookiee starts poking around the corpse of the Dark Trooper.
So as you look at the corpse of the Dark Trooper, you see his head is missing. And there's a damaged weapon on the ground.
It's a droid, right?
Yes.
Nah, who cares? It's just scrap metal.
But this one's serious.
You incur a very sharp look from the cyclopean face droid.
I don't say anything. I just walk over the corpse like it's scrap metal.
Oh, okay.
Does this weapon have a strap on it? Like the modification?
I've never even met you. I don't even know you're with them. You're just like a background NPC.
Wow.
There is not a strap on it. There is a handle towards the front and a handle towards the back, where he was merely holding it with his strength.
Just out of character, what kind of heavy gun is this? Just, I don't know if I can use it, but I think it might have too high of a cumbersome without a...
It has a cumbersome 4 rating. You have to have at least a brawn of 4.
If you let me upgrade, I think I would have been using... That's okay.
You could drag it behind you for now.
Oh, we're putting it on the ship.
Actually, you can still use it, but you just increase the difficulty while you're using it.
it's
Yeah.
difficulty.
So, next time when we come and say, hey, how are things going on in there? The bridge is being held hostage is probably not under the category of we're doing okay.
Wait,
Oh man, I was just talking about us.
pops up like the bridge is boarded?
You
Must
hear?
Yeah,
I
the bridge is
explain
boarded.
everything to you?
Yes. When I'm out in space, getting shot at for I don't know how long it's been, and I calm you to see how things are going on the ship. Please tell me.
It's not helpful being told don't bother us. So I'm going to run over to a terminal, as I say.
All right, Vic. So as you move over to the terminal, sort of that green collection of computers in the engineering deck area to the right, what do you do?
I'm going to access the system and try and determine who is also running this slicing scheme. I'm going to try and identify those people so I can lock them out.
All right, so I am going to have some special skill checks for you on this. I have yet to put this in Fantasy Grounds, but from this point forward, Victor, when you are opposed by a fellow slicer, there's a series of special actions that you can take as you guys sort of fight it out for control of the computer system.
Got old Johnny Mnemonic.
Mini game.
Yeah.
Totes.
While he's doing that, though, is there any way to get up a map of the ship to figure out where that is so Ishwar and I can, like, look over schematics with Bior?
Very easily, yes. You'd be able to pull
Okay,
up
so
a map of the ship.
I'm not going to interrupt again so you can deal with specifically with Victor, but I just want to let you know that's what we will be doing, is figuring out where Master Nguyen would be on the ship and where the Imperial forces are.
Also, if I can, L3 would like to assist with the slicing with my valuable facts ability when he gets to the point where he actually has to do what he needs to do with them. Or is it just considered all one check?
All right, so what are you checking with regards to the map? What information would you like?
Just intel, like the layout, if there's any good places for us to go through. I believe Ken's character has warfare, correct?
You are able to pull up a security feed of the bridge, and you see the following.
Is the captain alive?
You see Commander Straith is bound on the ground along with a group of Alliance infantry. They are tied up and are under guard.
All right, well, I'm going to let Kirk do his thing. I didn't want to intrude on him. I just figured we could be looking at stuff while he does his thing.
Okay, so study the map. You're seeing a live feed of what's going on there. Not Tyrus. Victor, were you able to see any of that, or is it too hard to read?
No, I can see it.
Okay, so sometimes an enemy slicer, as in this case, will be opposing you. In which case you're going to try and gain advantage over each other and activate certain programs to sort of get what you want done.
Nice.
So
do I need to access the role to access the system, or is that a given?
You do. And given that this is in engineering and this would be sort of a ready terminal for everyone to use, it is only an average difficulty to access the system. You could easily pick up a key card off of a nearby dead technician and...
Nope, I'm going straight in.
You easily dismantle the access protocols, granting you access to the system. And with the extra successes, actually, you are able to create an authorized account for you on the access system, so you'll be able to log in from different terminals without a check.
Oh, nice.
There is obviously a someone attempting to counter you, to work against you, as they're trying to regain control of the ship systems and shut down all other systems, including life support and other decks. The rest of you, before I move on with that, anybody doing anything else?
Can I make my mechanics check yet?
If you choose to do that, then we will start sort of what's going on the bridge. So I'm turning over to you guys to decide whether you're just going to stay down here and finish repairing, or are you going to try and regain control of the bridge?
I would think repairing anything down here would be useless if we don't have control of the bridge, right?
Yeah, unless there's... Yeah.
I think Kip should keep doing what he's doing,
Or wants to kill people.
but
Sure,
I would
but
like to go
I
try
don't have
to
to
take the
go
bridge.
first. That's what the whole point.
And L3 would like to, like I said before, just assist with the slicing thing with adding his valuable facts to it.
I will say, go with them, take the bridge, if we lose our life support systems, we're gonna fail anyway. So let me do this. They need more guns. They need more weapons. Go with them.
Vic, if you get the chance, if you could slice the control of the ship systems to engineering, that would be awesome too.
Yeah, right now I'm just trying to prevent everybody on this ship from dying.
No, I don't want to suffocate. I'm good.
The Wookiee just shakes his head and agrees.
Alright, Ishwar, you have some tactical training. Do you have any ideas on how we can do this? Oh, and does anyone speak Wookiee?
I speak Wookiee.
Excellent, a protocol droid. Come on.
Downgraded.
Yeah.
Also, I
that
hate
would be
to a
mildly
bummer,
offensive to you, L3, just so you know.
but I probably need to go because it is my busy season, and 30 is a stretch.
Okay. All right. So
But they can keep playing.
I'll let
that's
them
fine.
roll on your behalf for the remainder of this encounter. And Victor, have a good night. We will see you the next time.
Yeah, Kurt.
I am working tomorrow as
Thank you,
well.
guys.
Do we just want to stop here?
Yeah, we can stop here. This is fine.
This is. I know I would love to do it myself, but the combat would take a long time.
You only need
That
2-3 hours of sleep, Ken. Don't do this.
Yeah, 'cause I gotta do my practical for.
To be honest with
know,
you, if
mass
Kurt's going to
shootings.
bed, I can. Yeah.
Anyway,
All right.
Actually, this is not a bad time for us to stop.
Right,
This last round will be fairly short in the beginning of the next game, actually. So I think this is a good place to wrap up.
Conflict.
We do. There are 2 of you with conflict, right? Bayor?
yeah. How much conflict would I have gained?
I need Bayor to roll a d10, and I need Tyrus to roll a d10. I'm actually, Ishwar, you did not have any conflict to roll this time.
I believe I don't roll conflict till the end of the scenario, or do I even roll? I think it's like a you determination.
You have not earned conflict at this point, Jensa, and you're going to make a special roll at the end based on the sum total of your decisions in this particular segment.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So, Tyrus, you remain completely the same with regards to your morality. Neutral, you stay right where you're at. And Bayer, you increase to 66. If I'm not mistaken, you're getting close to Lightside Paragon, Bayer.
Yeah.
And that wraps up our episode for tonight. Join us next time to see how the heroes get themselves out of this jam and resolve the Battle of Spinax and what becomes of them with the Rebellion afterwards. Have a great week. We'll be back on with our next episode in about 2 weeks. Thanks for joining, guys.